Before we start assembling the Lime SDR acrylic case, we should first check that we have all the components that are required. On the top here we can see the 5 different acrylic sheets that are used to make up the case. On the right hand side there are 4 clear rubber bumpers that will be affixed to the bottom of the case after it's been assembled. 4 black M3 nylon machine screws that are used to secure the Lime SDR board inside the case. 8 black M3 nylon nuts that are used with those screws. We then have 6 longer black M3 stainless steel machine screws. These are 22mm long. These are used to hold the case together. And then we have 6 black M3 stainless steel nuts that are used with those machine screws. Finally, we also have 4 SMA to U.FL coaxial pigtails that are used to connect to the Lime SDR board, and then with the SMA connectors at the side of the case. The protective coating will need to be removed from the acrylic sheets, and once this is done it will probably be noticed that there may be some marking where the laser has cut the sheet. If that's the case, this can be removed fairly easily using whiteboard cleaning solution or similar, just to give the sheets a bit of a clean. It should also be noted that each sheet has, with the exception of the top sheet, a number of dots etched into the sheet just to indicate its position within the stack. And next what we're going to do is to take the nylon machine screws and put them down through the top of the Lime SDR board, and then put a single nylon nut on the underside. And what this will do is act as a spacer between the Lime SDR board and the bottom of the case. Now that we have fitted 4 sets of nylon machine screws and nuts to the Lime SDR board, we can take this and place it on top of the bottom sheet, layer number 1, with the wider end located here where the USB connector is. And then if we turn this over, we can take the remaining 4 nylon nuts and use these to secure the Lime SDR board to this layer. Being nylon, these can be trimmed down simply using a pair of sharp side cutters. Now we're on to adding layer 2, and the easiest way to assemble the stack is to initially put the M3 22mm stainless steel machine screws through the underside. Layer number 2 has been placed down here, and we just need to make sure that the 2 dots are facing upwards and that this layer is not trapping any of the foam pads. Next we add layer number 3, and again we need to just take care to ensure that the dots are facing upwards on each of these parts. Before we can fit layer number 4, we have to fit the U.FL to SMA RF cables, and at this point it's obviously important to have ascertained which 4 RF ports on the Lime SDR board we would like to make use of. And when making these connections, it's important that we take great care to ensure that the connectors are correctly aligned and that too much force is not applied, otherwise damage could occur. It's also important to take great care when routing the coaxial cable to make sure that we don't accidentally damage any of the components on the board. The RF cables have all been fitted and we've added layer 4, following which we can add the final layer, layer number 5. And what we'll do now is just to secure in place the top layer by adding the 6 M3 black stainless steel nuts, and we'll just make these finger tight at this moment. This next step is not absolutely necessary, but it does give a slightly more aesthetically pleasing result, and all we do is simply pick the case up very carefully and one at a time remove the steel machine screws and turn them round so that the head is on the top of the case and the nut is on the underside. Next, the nuts on the SMA connectors can be tightened up, taking care to just only very gently tighten these so as not to cause damage to the acrylic. Finally, the rubber bumpers can be applied to the underside of the case.